Hello, my lovely beans. I'm here today. I wanted to bring you some information that I thought was extremely important to share. I think it affects a lot of people here on planet Earth right now, and it affects me as well. And so I just wanted to share some really good info. First off, I wanted to share where I got the info from. So I've been reading Cryon books for a while now, and um, it's a series, and there's maybe 14 books, I think, in the entire series. And they all kind of look something like this. And basically, Cryon is a channeler, and a channeler who channels from source. And so what that means is that he gets his information and all of his messages directly from God, from source, from the divine, however you interpret that. But there are other channelers also on the planet who channel gods or archangels. So he's just channeling directly from source. So wanted to share that bit of info first, and I wanted to talk about disease. So this subject was pretty near and dear to my heart because I do have family that suffers from disease, and it's always, interesting to hear and learn, where these diseases come from and actually how they get into our bodies, and not in a scientific way, because we know how, people have diabetes. Well, it's from eating, this or that or not eating. And so I'm talking about more on the spiritual level where the disease gets created from and originates from. And that comes from, our karma that we are fulfilling here on this earth. And so this may sound a little crazy to some people, but our karma here directly relates to diseases that we encounter in our bodies during this lifetime. And there's a very complicated process that happens before we actually reincarnate here back, or reincarnate into this earth. And I'll save that for maybe another video because it's a pretty complex process that we go through. But the short version is that, depending on past lives, and what we need to learn from this life, that's how disease pops in to people's current lifetime. And I also wanted to just mention that disease is not created by God. So I know people want to blame God, and they say, why would God do this to me? Why would he curse me with cancer and I'm gonna die early? And well, it's not, you shouldn't be blaming God. You should be blaming yourself, because you're the only one to blame. So disease emanates from the actual human. And that means that we as human beings create the disease ourselves. So you have to be responsible for it, okay? Yes, every single human being needs to take responsibility for the disease that is happening inside of their body. But that also means that we are also responsible for having that disease exit the body. So two things: we are responsible for disease being created, and we are responsible for it also leaving our body, okay? That means that we actually have more control than you think you know. And that should be like really refreshing to hear. Because I think people get really scared and fearful of, I have a disease, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Well, no. you have choices. You can choose to work through this disease and actually look at the origination, where it came from. Come have a QHHT session. Figure out where this disease is coming from. We can work through it. But a lot of people, do not want to take responsibility for it, and so they either seek, big pharma for some sort of answer, and then it just turns into like this whole, I'm taking pills now, and now, that's a different disease, and it just gets really complicated after that. So, what I want to, just give you guys today is that, disease is ultimately something that can be resolved. And it feels like hope, at least from my perspective. And then, on my end as a healer, I know people come to me and they want to work through some ailments that they've had for, 10 plus years, or they want to work through some sort of fear that they've had ever since they were kids. And as a healer, yes, I'm here to help you with that. I am here to actually allow you to see where that karma is coming from. However, I'm not responsible for your personal karmic contract, and that is a huge deal to understand, because as a healer, I cannot override anyone's karmic contract ever. So it is completely up to the human being for this to happen. So that's huge. And if you guys don't know what karmic contracts are, I would suggest maybe just doing a little digging around to understand what they are, because it takes a little bit to understand what they mean and how they and how it applies to our current lifetime. So, but I just wanted to say that as a newly healer, I'm I'm here to help folks to see the light, to illuminate that karma for them. And I'm also here to help in any way I possibly can. It is up to me to do the best that I can for my clients that come in. And I will absolutely do whatever I can for them. However, they do need to know that taking responsibility is such a huge step. So, that was all for today, and I hope this message helps in any sort of way possible. That's what I want to be here to do, is to just share knowledge and help those who are in need. And if also anyone wanted information about having a QHHT session, I'm up in Northern California and would love to get in touch with you guys if you're interested. So I'll leave my details at the end of this video. Thank you guys so much. Love you so much. And we will talk very soon. Okay, bye.